Hello class. Today we will pretend that we're living in Virginia and it's 1676. Something crazy just happened. Jamestown burned down. It all started because life here is really unfair if you're not rich. My dad came from it because life here is really unfair if you're not rich. My dad came from England as an indentured servant, which means he worked for a rich man for 7 years just to pay for the boat ride here. After that, he was free, but we had no land. Some of our neighbors are free African men who used to be enslaved. They are free now, but just like us, they have no land and no power. We all want a piece of land to grow corn or tobacco, but the rich planters own everything near the rivers. The governor, William Berkeley, doesn't care about us. He only listens to the rich plantation owners, and he wants to keep peace with the Native Americans because he makes money trading furs with them. But people like my dad and his friends want to push west for land, and they're tired of Native American raids on farms near the frontier. Then came Nathaniel Bacon. He was young, angry, and he promised to fight for the poor. My dad, our neighbor Sam, who is a free black man, and lots of others joined Bacon's army. I remember watching them ride off with muskets. They attacked native villages and then marched into Jamestown, demanding the governor listen. When he didn't, they burned the town down. I watched smoke rise into the sky. It was scary but also felt like payback for all the unfairness. But our victory didn't last long. Bacon got sick and died. Without him, the rebellion fell apart. The English soldiers came, and they hanged the rebels. After that, the rich folks got smarter. They divided us. They gave poor white men a few rights and made slavery permanent for Africans, so we wouldn't team up again. Even though I'm telling this story from 1676, but it reminds me of things we see today. Rich versus poor. Just like back then, people get angry when they feel the government only helps the wealthy. People unite when ignored. Back then, poor whites and free blacks worked together. Today, you sometimes see protests where different groups join forces because they feel unheard or treated unfairly. Divide and conquer. Leaders today sometimes divide people by race, class, or politics, just like the Virginia leaders divided poor whites and black people after the rebellion, to stop them from working together. So, that's the story of Bacon's Rebellion. The time we saw poor farmers and freed slaves join together, burn Jamestown, and almost change history. When we think about Bacon's Rebellion and the chart comparing 1676 to today, we should realize that history has a way of repeating itself. Back then, poor white settlers and freed African slaves felt ignored, and they joined together to fight for a chance at a better life. Today, people still protest and speak out when they feel unheard or treated unfairly, whether it's about jobs, housing, or equal rights. The most important lesson is that when leaders ignore regular people, frustration builds up. And if people feel divided by race or class, it's easier for the powerful to keep things the same. That's why the story of Bacon's Rebellion still matters. It shows that unity brings strength, but division keeps people weak. Learning about this rebellion makes me want to pay attention to how people are treated today. History isn't just something in a book. It's a warning and a guide for how we can do better in the future. Bacon's Rebellion almost broke the inertia of Virginia's colonial system. Inertia means the way things want to stay the same, because for a short time, poor whites and freed black people worked together to challenge the power of the rich planters and the governor. Class, this is a very important lesson we had today. Please discuss it with your parents.